In this video we will explore the indigenous understandings of where the world came from. This addresses the ultimate questions: where did human life come from, and what is the purpose of human life? Indigenous groups generally believe in a spiritual force or deity which created the land and the people, and remains in the land. But different groups believe in one or many different gods. Many groups depict these gods in images, or recognize gods in particular features of the landscape, such as a rock form or an animal form. An example of the landscape representing the deity can be found in a river believed to be created by the rainbow serpent, and in a depression in the earth created by the footprint of a deity. These deities are often understood to be ancestral beings. However, indigenous people do not believe that these physical objects contain the spirit of the deity, but are merely representative of that deity. There is no one deity that all indigenous people believe in, although there are overlaps of belief, particularly with neighboring groups. Two of the types of deity found in indigenous beliefs are creation beings and ancestral beings. Firstly, creation beings or deities who created the land and people, and secondly, ancestral beings or deities who are the ancestors of today's indigenous people. These beings created the laws that were passed on through time, and also taught key survival techniques such as hunting and food collection. The creation period, or the Dreamtime, is the time when creation deities created the land, including particular features of the land, such as mountains and rivers, as well as the life forms of particular plants and animals. Aboriginal people often interpret dreams as being the memory of things that happened during this creation period. Dreams are also important because they can be a time when we are transformed back into that ancestral time. This linking of dreams to the creation period has led people to adopt the general term the Dreamtime in order to describe the time of creation in their religion. Some argue that the English term the Dreamtime should not be used, because the creation period is not a specific period of time, but an ongoing state which indigenous people continue to participate in. Some people believe that the English term used should be the dreaming, as it better expresses the timeless concept of moving from dream to reality, which in itself is an act of creation and the basis of many Aboriginal creation myths. It should be noted that none of the Aboriginal languages has a word for time. There are different Dreamtime stories, and each individual identifies with one particular story. The DJABUGAY people, which can also be spelt the same way as the Aboriginal Cultural Park in Cairns, are the indigenous population which live in tropical North Queensland, in areas including the Barron Gorge. As with other Aboriginal groups, the DJABUGAY people's culture is connected to land, and language is tied to the places and culture. The DJABUGAY language was spoken from Cairns to Port Douglas, and out to Mareeba and Atherton. The DJABUGAY people's spiritual beliefs differ somewhat from other groups. They believe in a spirit of creation named Boolaroo, and, like other tribes, stories of Boolaroo are passed down from one generation to the next. To the DJABUGAY people, all things come from Boolaroo, the source of life. The time of creation is known as story waters or story time, unlike in other parts of Australia, in which it is known as the dreaming. It is said that the form of the Barron Gorge was created by the giant carpet snake. The ancestral being, the Buddha-ji, is painted on the side of the train which takes visitors through the Barron Gorge to Kuranda. The physical features of the land for the DJABUGAY people affirm the law of Boolaroo